The producer of Madam Web said it was heartbreaking and tough to look at the backlash and the reception of Madam Web because they legitimately thought they had a great film and they didn't think that people would be so harsh to this specific project. You thought it was a good idea to make a Madam Web film. What were you expecting?
Reviews for Madam Web were not kind. From being called the worst comic book film of all time, to one of the worst projects people have seen, to the absolute worst acting in a blockbuster ever. You know, people really took their frustrations out on the film. I'm not going to sit here and defend the film. The only thing I think is good in it is their suits, which appear in the film for like, I don't know, less than a minute and a half, so that's a thing. Otherwise, it's bad. Nobody's trying. The film is terrible. It's just everything about it. It's pretty mid to bad. Now, some people might be surprised to find this out, but the man responsible for the G.I. Joe and Transformers films, Lorenzo Di Bonaventure, he was actually the producer of this film. Avi Arad was not. So, turns out we could have had a better film if Uncle Avi was on, huh? Well, he talks a little bit more about this whole backlash to the film, saying he didn't have any idea about any of these characters, who they were, what they were doing, and that he was just excited to make a film that's in the Spider-Man universe. And that when the reviews and backlash hit, he was heartbroken, and that it felt like somebody took an axe to you because you just never saw it coming. Now, let me make this clear. They could have made a great Madam Web film. The talent was certainly good enough. They could have done it. But the execution, the script, the plot they went with, the director, everything else failed the film. And that's a really big shame. So, at the end of the day, I don't see how they were surprised or how specifically he was surprised and how he talks about the giant failure of it and how the opening weekend didn't work out and how there was people being too brutal about the film. Like, guy, there is literal continuity errors from one cut to the next. There's crew members in scenes. There's dialogue that makes no sense. There's such bad ADR and reshoots and clearly emergency reshoots subplots where the actors' backs are constantly turned towards the camera and it's a bad voiceover that it's apparent. Anybody who's ever seen a film fall apart knows exactly what to look for, and this film has it all. So being shocked that it didn't work out and that people said it's one of the worst films if it came out in the 2000s, honestly is true, because it is that bad.